Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our next week of class. I hope that you're enjoying the class so far and learning some things about business. Hopefully this class also will kind of set the table for you as you take other business classes and pursue your degree going forward. And this week we'll be talking about the National Labor Relations Act, the Fair Pay Act, and some things that are important rules and laws protecting employees in business today. If I don't know if you remember your business history, but companies and employees have had a long contentious relationship from, say, the mid 1850s on up to even today in some cases. Prior to the 1930s, when the National Labor Relations Act was signed into law, there were a number of laws signed in trying to improve worker rights and worker conditions. We know of stories from the coal mines and the oil fields and places like that, steel mills, where employees had very, very bad working conditions and tried to form unions in order to negotiate with the company. And these things were put down very, very violently, and a lot of contention there through the early 1900s, if you will, as unions tried to gain a foothold to protect employees, and companies didn't want unions in their businesses. So it's some interesting YouTube videos out there on the history of unions and the history of the labor movement that sheds a lot of light on things even today in terms of people's opinions and thoughts and stuff on that. National Labor Relations Act was formally signed in 1935 by President Roosevelt, and it gave employees the right to collectively bargain with the company. They could form a union, and it established rights for the individuals and laid guidelines out of what companies could or could not do in terms of coercion or threats or things like that against employees who wanted to form a union and negotiate with the company for better pay or benefits or working conditions. So that's the things that we'll be talking about this week. You also have the National Pay Act that we'll be talking about in terms of equal pay for equal work, overtime provisions, things like that. So these are some of the things that we'll be talking about this week as we get into our discussions. The discussions on the inventory and inventory costs and stuff was really, really good this week. So hopefully we'll have another good conversation on this new topic. I do want to remind you to go out to the grade book and check all your grades. Fix any of the zeros. That means I don't have that work. You can still turn work in on anything that has a zero except discussion posts, and we'll grade it accordingly. Also, I'd like to remind you that your research paper is coming up soon, so you should be working on that and getting ready for that so that you don't have a crisis or start getting stressed out. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in class.